men, when they're around their friends, I don't know what it is in America. Their friends like the story. Like first things first, you got to know that women like to visualize a lot. They like the imagination of a story. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or if it's not, and they'll defend it. But because they've been around men and they feel like men don't care about that or understand it or even get them, that they naturally respond in a way where everything they say they feel like it's going to get judged because men will ask questions. Women will act like they know what the hell their friends talking about and don't know what the hell they're talking about. I've been in rooms, I've been around spaces, and it's not even on big. I've been around places where we be having these, these gender conversations, and their friends would be like, oh, "Yep, yeah, See, she don't understand what she." I said, "What did she say?" "Oh, this is what she said." Her and the girl would be like, "No, no, I was saying this," and it's like they just. That's why when they get with Kendra, I said the women that come on need to know how to talk to men, and the men need to know how to talk to women because she has a homegirl moment when they see Kendra. It's a homegirl moment because that's why they saying all this shit because they feel like they're talking to a female. So I like how he will just keep it concise and he'll ask questions and he'll be like, is that like I like the way he does that, but I know a lot of women's not gonna like that with him. I noticed that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do this one, and then I mean I'm not sure if you're gonna go live, but I just wanted just to do this one, and I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, you can send it to me. I'm gonna be on. I was on my fuck shit yesterday. I was fucking around. Hey, did you see how that
I don't know. I think I'm start watching after I watch this video. I feel like, and I'm not saying all women, but it's like they will, like they want to run a man to the ground. But for you brothers, I want y'all to listen to what to the reason why she divorced her husband. She's been married twice, but I want you brothers to listen to why she divorced her second husband, which to me doesn't make any sense. And you and you and before I even get to that, you have a you there's this thing where this I've seen this list where why it is better for men to be married, talking about they live longer, they get more sex and all this stuff. I That's already been debunked already. And y'all can look up the guy, the medium man. He debunked that already. But let me go ahead and get into this video because I thought this was crazy. Why she divorced her husband, her second husband.
Shayla, look, pan your camera to the right. Pan it to the left for me, Shayla. Do this. Yeah, do that. Hey, okay, I think that's you.
Zach,
I
you
think
play
you
too
real.
much.
There you is.
Hey.
How are you? Hold on,
Good. How
hold on.
are
Let me
you?
fix this. Hold on, let me fix this, Shayla.
Okay.
Fix this layout. Bam, there we go. Okay,
Hey.
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Shayla. I'm calling from Pittsburgh, PA. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh. Okay, how old are you?
I'm 44.
Oh, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aries.
Aries. I like your red.
Thank you.
You got any kids?
Yes, I do. I have 5.
Yeah, damn. I'm sorry.
So, brothers, I want y'all, I know that's a big thing. I want y'all to look past the fact that she has 5 children. We're going to look past that. But, I mean, that is a concern, but let's look past the fact that she has 5 children. Let's continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 kids.
Uh-huh.
What's the ages?
26,
Okay.
22, 14, 12, and 8.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 26, 22, 14, 12, and 8.
Yeah.
How many baby fathers do you have?
2.
Okay. 2. So, how are they split up? 8,
I was
12.
I was married. I was married twice. So the
They,
first 2 are by my first husband, and my last 3 are by my last husband,
okay.
ex-husband.
Okay. So with your ex-husbands. So the first
Set.
the first set, the
The
26.
26 and the 22 are by my first ex-husband.
How long were y'all married?
We were high school sweethearts, so we were only married till about like 22, 23. So I was about
How long
23.
was
We
y'all
got
married?
married. We got married.
I don't. Zach asked a specific question. How long were you married? All that does is the only answer that you have to give is either one, two, three. It's a number. It requires a number. And she actually stopped. Like there was a period after she answered that question. Well, we were high school sweethearts. And then he had to even ask the question again. How long were you married? But let's continue.
Got married when I was 18, and we got divorced when I was like 23. But we were together since I was like 15.
Okay, married 4 years, but y'all were together longer than that.
Uh huh.
Okay, and how long were you married to your other children's father?
15 years.
15 years. So after
Yeah.
15 years, you didn't want to keep going. You did 15 years.
Nah.
Because
Mm-mm.
I understand, like I get it. Like sometimes when people get divorced early in the marriage, it may not work. You know what I'm saying? Like it was early, but after you make it 15 years, why quit then?
I mean, honestly, like he's not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. We just had different like goals. I wanted to have more. He was okay with, sitting on the porch drinking lemonade, and that's fine. You know what I mean? And now he's remarried, and he has a wonderful wife who is okay with sitting on the porch drinking lemonade. Me, I'm successful. I have businesses, multiple businesses. I want to make millions, where he was okay with where he was at in life, and that's fine. Like nothing's wrong with that, but we just weren't aligned.
Now, brothers, I want to interpret what she said. Okay? Now, I don't know how old this guy was. I'm going to assume that he was a lot older. So, I'm going to let's just do this. More than likely, he was retired. So, he probably wanted to relax the rest of his life. Okay? I'm sure he would probably financially stable. But yet, his ex wife wanted to run him to the ground and continue working until when? Which doesn't make any sense to me at all. And now that he's remarried and he's happy. But go ahead, sir.
Yeah, often what I'm seeing with what women are saying as far as like having financial access to millions and all these riches and assets and all these things that they feel like it's going to fulfill something. And I don't think she ever looked at it from what's the end result to obtaining these things. And a lot of times, and this is the disconnect. What you think you're looking for when you get access to this type of financial um, market is what men don't necessarily need to have to get to that peace. And I think that she feels like there's going to be a peace because she's been programmed, or she believes that the value of what you obtain financially in society is more important to like yourself and being with somebody else. So men will actually find the peace that we talk about this all the time. Like when we get married and we'll move into a place, a neighborhood and stuff like that, we're at peace. Women, even after being married, are still looking for peace for whatever reason. Um, the imagination that they developed over years into adulthood probably made the goalpost for peace too far away place, and they think they have to gain access to money. And if that man, if you really respected him as a leader, you would have found, these women would realize you'll find peace through your man. But
Right.
because she values these other things more than him, she's looking at him like he's there's something wrong with him. Rather than trying to understand him and respect him and admire who he is as a man, you think like you. Again, I hear this all the time. But once a woman says, "Well, I have multiple businesses and this and that, and he's doing that," that right there tells me that's something more important than anything else to her. But that's all.
That's crazy. And that's a really good explanation. So, brothers, from from what I saw, from what I heard, all she like, why would you like at me? I don't want to work. I don't really want to work past 50. I'm not saying it might happen. It might not happen. I definitely don't want to be working past 60. I don't even want to. But so a man being relaxed is what made you do is your decision. I'm going to assume that you're the one who files for divorce. And again, brothers, she clearly said that he has remarried and his new wife, they're happy together. And she wants to continue working. But let's see what else she has to say, brothers.
But you was with him 15 years.
Yeah. But you figure, and when you're in your 20s, you value life differently. And then when you get into your 30s, things that weren't important in your 20s are now important into your 30s. And if you're not growing together as one, why not under a mutual circumstance part, and
Mm-hmm.
move on? And he found his happiness with his current wife. She's a wonderful woman. We co-parent with the children. Actually, right now the children are live with him during the school year now, and me in the summer. So we have a great, we're all
Uh,
happy.
okay, I got you. I got you. Y'all all man.
So, well, let me interpret that. According to her, what she said is basically he has primary custody of the children. So I'm just gonna just assume that she still wants to run the streets. She still wants to quote unquote have fun. That's all she wants to do, brothers. And at 44, by 50, you're halfway dead. And I hate it, and it's probably I probably shouldn't even have said it like that, but you're halfway dead at 50. Why not relax? So she had a man that was now he's with somebody else, and they are relaxing. His new wife, and she still wants to continue. Brothers, you don't need to be running yourself rampant. At the Believe me, you should be at a financial stride at by 40, 45. But you shouldn't be running. You should not be running yourself and killing yourself. There are a lot of men that are stressed out, and it's not just because of women. They're stressed out because they're working themselves to death. Most men don't retire until about 65 to 70 years old, and you don't want to be like that. I don't understand, but again, brother, I don't get it. I'm just gonna assume that she had a good man, but she messed it up. But let's continue.
All made it work.
Right.
Um, what did you learn from that situation that you may take into your next relationship?
Well, now it's being aligned with what is important to you and your goals. I mean, you have to change. There's things that you'll change in coming together with a person, but you have to know what's important for you and what you're willing to accept. Everybody has flaws, but it's the flaws that you're willing to accept. You know.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, what do you do for a living?
I'm a
I can't wait to hear what your flaws are. Hopefully Zach gets to that, but hopefully I get to hear what your flaws are. But let's continue.
hairstylist, and I'm a permanent makeup artist and a paramedical tattoo artist as well.
Permanent makeup is like a tattoo?
Permanent makeup is like microblading, nano brows, lip blush, things like
Oh,
that. hmm
okay,
And
and you,
I also do 3D areolas
I like areolas.
for
You
women who have like mastectomies and
okay?
or people who had top surgery.
Make sure you make them brown.
Wait. Women have bi women have bisectomies? Am I? I thought that was a some.
I'm not familiar with that. I think I've heard something. I don't know if she pronounced it right, but I heard something of that. But I'm not. I really not.
I'm
I'm not privy of
when I heard
it.
this, and I meant to look that up because I know men have bisectomies. Now, women get their fallopian. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Their tubes tied, which starts with a V. Fallopian tubes, I think that's what it's called, but I'm definitely gonna have to look that up. But brothers, maybe y'all can look that up. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I'm sorry.
No, you make them
Uh,
brown.
yeah, I got brown. I got
You make them brown.
pink.
No, well, my favorite color, areola brown. Baby,
I
I
got
got it.
brown ones. I can make brown ones, pink ones,
You're
All
doing
right
too
now,
much, Zach.
areolas.
whatever color you want.
This is Shayla out of Pittsburgh. She's a hairstylist and areola makeup.
Yes.
44, 5 kids, Aries. What type of man you looking for?
I want a driven man. I want somebody driven. Somebody who wants to build. Somebody that's laid back. Really is not a really a partier too much, but we could party, But my main thing is somebody who's driven, somebody who wants to grow together, somebody who wants beyond the basic.
Ma'am, you used the word laid back. You had a husband that was laid back where he sat on the porch and sipped on lemonade. Isn't that considered laid back? But you know what? I could be wrong. But let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah.
Beyond the basic. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's what you're looking for. Does he have to look a certain way?
No, not really. Not I'm not going to say, oh, he has to be dark skinned, he has to be brown skinned, he has to be light skinned. Doesn't it really doesn't matter. Really,
You,
honestly,
you don't care how he look.
yeah, he could just as long as he's nice looking to me. I mean, I've both my husbands. One was light skinned, one was dark skinned. So it
You
really
ain't,
doesn't matter. It's just the
you ain't got
person.
no right. I got you. Does he have to make a certain amount of money?
Oh yes,
All right.
yes.
What's that number? How much?
He has to at least make at least a minimum 250k, 500k.
Is she freaking crazy? Is it, baby? 250 to 500K. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. But he already put out, and I'm going to assume that she was a black man. So we already, oh my goodness. I'm just gonna, and I don't even know the exact number today, but I'm just gonna just make something up, and I'm gonna say maybe 2% of black men make 250 to 500K a year in America.
It's like one, and it's 350 is considered rich
Mm.
statistically. That's the average number. That's the average amount for being considered rich, where you pretty much don't have to worry. You're pretty much comfortable, especially if you know have a financial lifestyle and still live luxury. So she's basically saying she wants a rich man.
Brothers, if you've ever been to Pittsburgh, I've been to Pittsburgh. It's very mountainous out there. I don't from what I saw, it looks a little bit hood, but they got some nice areas over there. They really do. And to be honest with you, Pittsburgh is a very beautiful city. It is on the outside, but once you get in the inside, I mean, it might be something different. But uh, let's continue because I know Zach is about to get her anyway. Let's see what he has to say.
Come on now.
500,
Now,
250,000.
Shayla,
Yeah.
you're not being reasonable right now.
Yes, I am.
No,
I
you.
had it. I had it for years, so I know it's possible. I
I'm
know
not.
there are. I know there are men out there that might. Let's say this. They might not. They might make 100k a year, but they're worth 250k. They're worth
That's
500k
not what you
because
said.
of asset.
What? What? There are men that are worth that make 100K a year, but they're worth 200 and what is he talking? So because of their assets?
What she Yeah, what she's basically saying is that she's saying that when you look up someone's net worth,
Hmm.
that's not literally what they have in the bank. But if you really equate what their net worth is, you can find out pretty much it's going to range. So she's saying that if someone's making 100,000 and they got assets and network and they have investments, they're probably on. If you had to look up their network, they're probably making like probably $300,000 if they're bringing home 100K like in cash every year. So you're making over 250. So I see what she's not explaining it right, Slim. So it doesn't make sense the way she's explaining it, but I know what she's saying.
But here's the
Yes.
real question: why does she deserve somebody else's money or their net worth? Why does she deserve that? But go ahead and get her, Zach, because I know you got this.
That
That's not what you said.
they're getting
I
at.
know what I know. I understand assets.
Yeah.
I'm not very clear.
Well, let's just keep it at 250K. Yes.
But you said I said how much you want on them.
$250,000.
Jayla, let me talk. Stop talking over me.
Sorry.
What I said was you said I asked how much do you want them to make?
Okay.
And you said 250,000. Now you want their net worth. That's if they own a house. You know what I'm saying? You can own a.
Oh no, net worth. I want $1 million.
So you want them to make 250,000? You think that's reasonable?
Yes.
How many people you think make that much money? Men, single men. You want them to be black?
It doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter.
Race. How many men do you think a percentage of men make that much money single?
I mean, listen. I'm okay if it doesn't. If the person doesn't have that, that's fine. But that is just what I want. In my experience in life, that's how I make that much. So I want someone to at least make as much as me or more. And
My fault. Go ahead, bro.
See, this is the problem. He asked her a direct question.
Mm-hmm.
How many men do you believe or think or whatever in your head make that amount? She went into this whole thing about where she stands is what she wants, and so the problem with women when they set these standards that like I'm not even talking about just regular like this, like the extreme standards they have.
Mm-hmm.
They never really put thought into what they're really saying. They just want to believe for whatever reason that it's a thing. And I do think a lot of it comes from programming and making people feel like they can do anything. Let me tell you something. Not everybody can accomplish everything. You shouldn't. This is why you should be able to self-assess yourself, and you're supposed to be able to do that. Your parents are supposed to help you do that to the point where when you become an adult, this helps you find your peace. If you're able to self-assess who you are and your capabilities, then whatever you pursue in life, you understand what it's going to do for you and what the end goal is going to do for you as far as like your peace at the end of the day. So
right.
She's not, and you see this a lot. They don't put a lot of thought into it. And I've had this so much that I've had conversations with women on other panels. So when you hear me asking them a question again on this panel, they'll start laughing because I'll be like, well, you don't even know what love is. And you'll wonder because I've had this conversation and it's like they forget. And then they'll come back in another room saying the same shit they've been saying. And I'm like, okay, did you not? So the reason why she's doing this right now is because she doesn't want, she believes that if she actually had to think about how many men actually do it, she's gonna psych herself out from believing that she can get it. And people want to believe that they can achieve anything, and that's false. That's just I'm sorry to tell people, like, this is the hard pill to swallow for people. Yes, I feel like people should have no limits to their options and what they strive to be, but you're gonna know where to go and why you're doing it when you can self-assess yourself as an adult.
Right.
And then you have to do this as a kid. It's going to be harder. You're going to be struggling with finding where you finding your inner peace, finding how you're going to get it when you're not instilled with it from childhood. And this is why a lot of adults struggle with not knowing. This is why a lot of kids change their majors. This is why people don't know what they want, because they wasn't able to self-assess themselves in childhood. So now they're walking around trial and error, trial and error. I made a mistake. Let me try it this way. And it is really taking a toll on them, whether they realize it or not. They think it's making them stronger. It's taking a toll, but that's all.
Well, I really don't have nothing to say on that. Let's continue because I think Zach's really gonna get her. And then, by the way, I like the fact that Zach had to put her in her place for talking over him. I like Zach. Let's continue.
And the only reason why I say that is because I was married, my second husband, I made more money than him. And I feel that a lot of times like it was an ego thing, or sometimes he would feel less than. So I whereas my first husband is a millionaire, you know what I mean? So but with the millionaire is a lot of times where you don't have the time, they don't have the time to
Yeah, that's
put
what I'm saying.
into the relationship. So I said, okay, well, let me try this route. So I went to a person just, making like 60, 80,000. Nothing's wrong with that. Not saying that they're less of a man making 60 to 80,000. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that a lot of men can't take
I
a
got you.
woman making a substantial amount over them, because a lot of times it's a lot of ego driven, or they feel less of a man.
That's crazy. But go ahead, my
So
brother.
this is going to be short. So she wasn't even happy with the millionaire she was married to.
Hey, J Love.
And so the fact that she's saying this is her standard, and she's basically saying, well, when I was with the millionaire, I wasn't fulfilled with the millionaire, so I told myself to talk to the guy that was making this amount of money. So you're basically letting me know that you want this type of guy, but with some you want him to be a millionaire, but then you want him to have the mindset of a guy making the average amount of money yearly, and that's the problem. She just said I was married to a millionaire, but I didn't like the fact that they wouldn't have that quality time. And I did say this yesterday. That's a big thing to women. They like to get that quality time. If they don't understand what it is to be a millionaire or someone on that level, that you're going to have to be very sure of yourself and very confident in who you are when it comes to finding peace with yourself when you talk to these type of men, because you're going to be put in spots where you probably won't see them. I'm nowhere near being a millionaire. I make a decent amount of funds, but there was a time in my life when I was trying to start my business. I was out of town every other week, and it was an issue. And and these women, like I said, these women are foreign. It still was a problem to some degree. It wasn't like they was the end of the world, but they were like, you got to remember, the more a woman likes you, the more she's going to want to be around you.
Right.
So they don't understand what it is to be in that position. This is why when you're as an adult, you have to be, you as a woman, if you're trusting a man to give you that security, and you want this guy, you're gonna have to understand what it means to be that. And just like she didn't even try to think about how many men actually have a million, I don't think she put any thought into what it looks like to be in a relationship with one. And she got the experience, but here she is on this show. That's all.
Well, my brother here already put out basically what I was going to say in a different way, but I don't think again, she's not ready to sacrifice at all, and she's 44 years old, brothers. That's why I say a lot of our women, they don't mature mentally until they're about, I used to say 45. It's 65 to 70 now, brothers. They don't mature mentally until they're about 65 to 70 years old. Let's continue.
A man, and I don't want to deal with that again ever in life. I'd rather deal with the man who has the money and don't have time.
Wait, you would rather deal with somebody that has the money but don't have time? So then why don't you go back to your ex-husband, your first husband? But you know what? You probably can't because he's probably married and happy. But let's go ahead and continue. Get her, Zach.
What? What's that? Say it. What's your mind thinking?
I want to be nice. I'm trying to be nice.
Go ahead, be nice.
And I want you to know, sister, I say this
say it with grace.
With grace and respect for you and what you
yes.
think. But you got the millionaire probably in your 20s.
Mm-mm.
When you said your first husband was a millionaire?
Yeah.
And how were y'all when you got married?
We were teens.
Teens, young. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying?
But I had a millionaire after my ex-husband.
You married him?
No, but we dated for 5 years.
So why you ain't married? What happened with that?
Um, mm, he's cool.
Tell the truth. What happened with it?
Nothing really happened with it. It's just, you know.
What
What?
do you? How did we just get to a brick wall? You just talk so much, and then
Okay, so the
you're
what?
you're asking
So
for
so
this, and
my
then you say
so
you
my
got
ex
it.
my ex that I just we
Go ahead, man.
I already told you this, Slim. Anytime a woman's the problem, they never want to explain it because they're going to have to expose something about themselves. Now, how is it that, and I'm going to say this there's not many people that meet the exception to the rule of people. Men and women, it's not even gender specific. There's not many men that will meet beautiful women. There's not many women that will meet millionaire men. Some people, for some odd reason, can run into a multitude of them. She's one of those women that had an opportunity and she actually got married to a millionaire. And then after the marriage, she was able to establish some kind of serious relationship for 5 years. Her first complaint was quality time. I'm pretty sure there was micro level issues in the relationship. I don't think it was just that. But I think ultimately, when
Hmm.
I hear most women complain about talking to men with money, it's always about the time.
Right.
And then they turn it into that he's a liar. He starts to say, "Oh, he's not backing up what he said. He told me he was going to spend the weekend with me, but then so they turn it into something else. If you didn't figure it out early, that how he obtained it, he had to be a busy man. There's very few men, and there's multiple types of millionaires, but these are the two types that I think women have trouble understanding. The millionaire that everyone has in their head, everybody when you think of a millionaire, is the one that's just sitting in a house on a laptop and money's just coming to him. Financial advisors are calling. He probably will get calls from the people that work for him. He probably doesn't have to deal with nothing. The other millionaire is the one that has to be the owner and operator. So he has to be involved talking to just everybody. He has to talk to his own employees. He has to be interact with other people, management, regionally, like go through all these things on a more personal level. So I think the idea that when you talk to a person with money, that you're just going to be able to do anything is crazy. It's very rare when there's a millionaire that just he wakes up in the morning and say, "Hey, babe, I just got another 150K off of so and so in these shares and stuff like that." That's very rare. That's not going to happen.
Right.
Most of the time, even when you talk to a millionaire, you're going to have to know that he's going to have to be working. He's looking for more clients. He's going to be traveling. He's going to make time for you, but it's not going to be the time that you expect. This is why, hey, being under a guy that makes that type of money, hey, use this time to work out, exercise, find hobbies, you know, create something for when he's around you, be more involved in his schedule instead of hating the schedule, admire it so you can make time to do things when you're around him so he doesn't think that when he does get to see you after a busy week trying to make the money to sustain his lifestyle, that he's going to come home to someone that just the energy is, damn, I never get the time. So that's what people struggle with. The
Right.
women do. Well, that's all.
Let me tell you something, brothers. I didn't even get through this whole video. I didn't even realize that she had dated another millionaire. But Zach, go ahead and get her, cause we got another delusional woman. Cause she has to explain why. We haven't really even got an explanation yet. But let's see where this goes.
We broke up maybe about a year ago. It's just I could marry him and could be with him, but there's just things that I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
What is it?
Why?
Because it seems like because now all of a
Because
sudden,
then, because if I say what, people that know me on here might
all right,
like
it
mad.
just seems like it's you. It seems like you the problem.
Man, I'm not the problem.
You sitting here, you dating. Okay, you date the guy. You've been married twice. Okay, so that means that men have been in a relationship with you and had enough love for you because you can't marry yourself. You know they have to propose. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
men have had enough love for you twice. Two different men. Some people don't get a chance to get proposed to once. you
That's
didn't
a
propose.
blessing. That's a blessing.
Let me finish what I'm saying. You've had
Ma'am, that is not a blessing to be proposed to twice. To be met, I don't. Let's continue, man, because we still with this delusion, but this is what y'all believe. Let's continue.
two men different proposed to you from
Uh-huh.
two different spectrums, right?
Mm,
You've had the man that you said made a lot of money,
right.
and then you did it young, and then you had the man that made less, and then
Right.
had a millionaire date that you dated for 5 years
Right.
consistently, and then it's just like it's you.
It isn't.
It ain't these three dudes. Come on, man. Everybody can't be wrong.
Well, I'll say this: the millionaire, he doesn't want to commit to marriage.
Because he's a millionaire. He
He's
got
not
options.
he's not I mean, he's not wanting to commit to marriage. But that's why I'm saying 250,000. I'm not saying a million. I'm saying 250,000. I'm trying to be with a man that's at the level that I'm at.
I understand that. But what I'm trying to
As
say,
long as we're at the same level, I'm cool with that. Like you could be
Now, before my brother says something, brothers, I told you this before. A lot of women do not want to be, do not want to love you. They want to match you. But go ahead, my brother.
In her head, and this is another problem too. So rather than her saying, like he said, you might be the problem, you might be the problem, but she is basing her metric system for why she feels like it's not her. Because of what she can offer, given her careers. That's and why she's making the money. So
Hmm.
she's saying, you know what? Okay, I had the guy that had all the money. I had the guy that had a little bit less money. I'm in the middle. So if I meet a guy like me, I think it'll work out. And this is this, and I talk about behaviors. There's Let me tell you something. Yes, a millionaire has options. Trust me, I do. I know. But and I'm glad she said that he didn't want to commit. When you hear women say he was playing games or he had a lot going on, that is her saying, "Oh, he didn't want to commit. He didn't want to be with her. He didn't want to commit to her because I'm 100% sure when you're capable of doing things where you know that she's never going to have to worry about nothing. She doesn't know that. She doesn't know the value of free time. So why would he invest in someone that probably can do a lot of other things great, but the one thing that he truly needs in his life is the peace, and she can't offer that. So yeah, he's going to entertain her for all the other things, but he's not going to commit to it. And
Right.
she's not going to look at it like it's doing like it's her. She's going to think it's just, you know what, let me change the bracket of money and this just should be right. And that's, men and women are different. You're always going to run into something that's different. That's why no matter what type of man you're talking to, whether he's rich or average, you're running into a dilemma every time. You want to feel like y'all, the way you feel is the way he should feel. That's not the case. And women believe that the only difference between a man and a woman is that one, she can have kids and yeah, they have the genitals, but there's not a real difference other than the finances.
Right.
Some women really believe it's only based on the finances that make a man and a woman different, because they always say, well, I got what he got. That is crazy that women even believe that, but that's all I gotta say.
Let's go ahead and continue because I like the fact, and brothers, I actually like the fact that Zach is, testing her or questioning her. But let's continue.
at that level or up. I don't want anything less than, and if not, then I'm okay. Like I'll just be with the millionaire.
you'll just be with the millionaire.
And not be married. You understand?
Then why
So
not? Then why cut out the
I'm
middleman?
free to do whatever I choose to do when I want to do it, right? Because I'm not committed. I don't have a ring on my finger. Okay. So if something came out of this situation right here, if something came out of it to where I met a man that makes 250,000 and up, at least 250,000 and up, and he's solid, and and this is what he wants. You know, I don't necessarily have to be married, but we could be in a committed relationship. Then like let's go for it. But I don't want anybody making less than what I make,
And that's
and
that's
nothing's wrong with that.
that's perfectly fine. But I don't know why you think that he's not committing just because he's not a millionaire. A nigga making 250,000 got.
It's more
Please
than.
stop cutting me off. A nigga making 250,000 still got options just like a millionaire these days. You know what I'm saying? 250, you make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, at your age, you should like you gotta you're too indecisive. Like you gotta pick a side. Like you got a whole millionaire you could be with, but he doesn't want to commit. But then you had a guy that was making less and they will commit. But it's like what do you truly want the most? And if you have the hear me out and then you can respond. But I just feel like if you have the bread, you know what I'm saying, and you live comfortably, which I think you do, you have it together. What are you really searching for? It's like you have this like up and down within yourself. Like you make the type as a single woman by yourself making over $250,000 a year. I know you straight. I know you're not hurting for nothing. So what? Only things that you should need is the things that money can't buy. Does that make sense? Absolutely. But yet you have this fixation with the bread, you know, that's so tough. Like you need it. You don't need it. And then, but
You know what? Let me give a side note real quick, and I don't know to the ones that have been watching Kendra G and Zach. There's an episode with Kendra G where I believe that these two are really, really tired of talking to random black women when it comes to dating. There was an episode where Kendra G was so frustrated with one black woman because it was because of what she was asking for and the way she was acting. And Kendra just lost it. And I feel like these two are starting to really see that a lot of our women in America are pretty much delusional. I'm sure Zach already sees it already. But I think Kendra G is starting to get really frustrated with black women. But I just want to just put that out there as a side note. Let's continue.
but and then you see with the man with the money, he's not committing. Does that make sense? So it's like the reason I say it's you is because you're having this inner battle with yourself. Does that make sense? Like you don't need.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying.
You see how disrespectful, in my opinion, that was disrespectful. Are you done? This girl at 44, she's a little bit ditzy, and then you have to understand this too. What is she supposed to be teaching younger women? But let's go ahead and continue. I apologize.
But this is just what I want, you know, and I've been married twice. So I'm not like, so it's not like, oh, this is a big thing where I have to meet somebody to be married. I'm very content with where I'm at in life and who I am as a woman. And my thing is, this is what I desire for myself. Like, if this is what I want, like, I want a man that makes at least what I make, at least, you know, that's just bottom line. And they're out there. Trust me. They are out there. It's just putting yourself in the world to obtain those types of people. You know, putting yourself in rooms to obtain those types of people.
Okay. I think the rest of these questions are answered what I'm asking.
Okay.
What are your deal breakers?
My deal breakers, not having employment. Okay. Not having goals.
Did you want to say something real?
Yeah, but I lost my train of thought on what I was gonna say as far as what she was saying.
Oh, my fault.
I
My
lost my
fault.
train of thought. You're good. You're good. No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
And also abuse. No abusive men. No men with any type of drug habits or any type of alcoholism or anything like that.
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
What I'm starting to interpret when she keeps talking about the money, she doesn't want to be dependent on important bills.
Hmm.
She feels like if he's gonna make less, he's gonna depend on her, like a woman would depend on a man for that security. So
Mm.
she feels that if anything, I don't want to feel like I'm a paymaster because it looks different for a woman if she has to do that. Even if it's even in a relationship, no one's ever going to question a woman. If it let's just say they living in a house and they're together and she's making more than him, she has a Benz and he has like a Acura or something. No
Hmm.
one's going to question that. But if he's in a house and he's making a lot of money and he has a Jaguar and she has a little Acura, they're gonna be like, "That's kind of where you why he can't upgrade you?" Because she's still the thing about these women, they
Hmm.
still have a traditional sense, and what she's doing is basically saying that I don't want it's going to be a problem if I have to finance him.
Right.
That's what it is. She's stuck in the rock, and this is what happens when you have a career as a woman. You're like stuck in a rock and a hard place because at one end you're making so much money that yeah, women make it seem like it's just accessible, like every man can get it. No, and two, there's a biology to a woman. When they get comfortable in a relationship, they're going to regress to the same way that they've been naturally been groomed to want to be underneath a man. She's not going to eventually she's not going to want to do none of that shit. She's not. She's reaching that age where she wants to be comfortable to the point where she doesn't have to get up every morning and work all these hours because I'm pretty sure that's what she had to do to obtain it. She's 44. I didn't even know she was 44.
Yeah.
But that's even crazy that she's that she's still talking like this.
Right.
But that's all, bro.
Let's go ahead and continue.
Okay. What age range you want to date?
I'll say mm, 40 to about 58.
Okay, 40 to 58. Would you
Mm-hmm.
date long distance?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do the Kendrick can.
All right, let's see. Did you see enough?
Mm-hmm. We see all your red. You got it on today.
Yeah, I just came from dinner.
There it is. Um, okay. You said you would date long distance.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to answer this. When last time you was intimate with somebody?
I don't want to answer that.
Okay. What are your 3 flaws?
My three flaws. I am very impulsive. Like I'm spontaneous. Like I'll just.
That's not. I'm spontaneous. That's not a flaw. I feel like I'm spontaneous. That's a flaw. Let's continue. Let's see what the other two flaws are. If that's if yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That's one. Second is to. I, I've been working on like areas where like hot headed. Or a little fiery. And sometimes I've been really working on like balancing that side of me. Keeping that side of me just level. And then the third thing I would say is my punctuality. I'm trying to be on time, not be late all the time, I'll say. So
Okay.
I'm working on that too.
Why you think you single?
Why I think I'm single? Because I chose to be for a long time to work on myself. And I've been working on myself for a long time and I feel good. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I desire. And men, I don't look at men as bad. Like, I look at men as wonderful creations, and they are needed and they are loved. And I would just want to nurture one. I know good men are out here.
Why do you want a man?
Why do I want a man? I mean, really, honestly, every woman needs a man. A man is as a leader. A man is a foundation.
Now, this is what I don't like. He asked you a specific question. I hope I said that word correctly. He asked you a direct question. And now you want to say, well, every woman needs a man. No, why do you need a man? Oh, my goodness. Let's continue because this is getting ridiculous.
The man is a rock. the man leads a woman. The man is a leader. They are the king. They are the king of the jungle, king of the castle. The man is the one that guides the foundation. That's why.
There it is. All right. Why would somebody be lucky to be with you?
Because I respect, especially I respect the black man. I mean, submissive. Just love to nurture him to make him feel whole. When he walks through that door, just to be his peace.
Okay. I'm gonna check the super chats real quick before you go.
Okay.
Now, brother, before he starts with the super chats, that's if he has any. What everything that she said she's submissive. You had, and we're just gonna just say, we're just gonna just speak on the three men. You had two millionaires, and then you had a man that made less than 100K, who was cool, who was calm and collected, and all those were a problem. I honestly believe that you ended these. See, this is the thing. I really believe that women are the ones that are ending relationships purposely because they are bored. I don't care what the stat says about finances or if it's of number one is cheating. In my personal opinion, the reason why women are ending relationships is because they are bored. They are the ones that want to go over there and climb out Mount Everest and would probably do it to probably try to kill themselves doing it. And it's sad that they're doing this. But let's see what the super chats have to say because I'm sure there's somebody going to be questioning this crazy dissy woman.
I don't see any. I'm only like Kendra says. Make sure y'all keep this respectful because I'm not gonna put anything disrespectful up on there.
No, they can't mean to me.
Pookie asks. We're not gonna dwell on that. Pookie said, "Why does money matter if you are here for love? It's like so many BW. That stands for black women, I guess. Black women put a price tag on their love that men are not willing to pay."
Good question.
Well, I'm not at. I'm
First of
not
all, do you even care to answer, Pookie? You ain't got to answer.
like. Oh yeah, I'll answer Pookie because I feel like I'm not disrespecting the man. Like I said, the man is a leader. The man is the foundation of the home. So in my experience, when I was married to a man that made less than me, it was a lot of it was bad in a lot of ways because of
I
his
got you.
insecurities and because I was more of the lead.
Go ahead, man.
What when she said her, and this is Slim, this is where I think men should pay attention.
hmm
I think men should ask women their flaws because I've had women, I've asked, I didn't say three flaws, but I've say, what would you say you have to work on? If a woman tells you she has to work on her attitude, and look how she explained the attitude. She's like, I got to work on my behavior. Like she did, she explained it in a way where it didn't just flat out seem like she's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? She said, so she has an attitude problem. And I told you about women that procrastinate. That
Right.
goes, it doesn't just talk about being on time. It has to do with their mentality too when it comes to being in a relationship.
hmm
They can show up late when it comes to being considerate as well. So she has an attitude problem. And I really feel like her nurturing and her submissiveness is circumstantial. She's one of those women that have to receive something to offer what she knows the man wants. So if you don't make me feel this way, you're not getting that. So the reason why she has an attitude problem, I can guarantee the millionaire had to do it for her mouth. I can
Mm.
guarantee the other husband had to deal with her mouth. Anytime I hear a woman saying at the end of a relationship where she's making more money than the man, she's like, "Oh, I felt like he was intimidated and instead of tone in the house." No, your behavior
Right.
probably set the tone. And women do not understand. They think their behaviors are okay for whatever reason, but that is mainly what men complain about. Period. Your bad behaviors. But that's it.
Well, we almost done, brothers. Let's see how she she finished responding to this super chat.
because I was the breadwinner. So it's like I took more of the lead, which he was the lead. Like, he was the king of the castle. But if you have to come to me because I'm the breadwinner, because something needs to be done, that can make a man feel less of a man. And I don't want to ever make anyone feel that way again just because of my success. So I would rather be with somebody who makes the same amount as me, so then that way he could lead me and be strong and powerful within himself. Now if I made $80,000, I would be asking for a man that make $80,000. If I made $100,000, I would be asking for a man to make at least $100,000.
So, brothers, I hope y'all heard that. Basically, well, you know what? Go ahead, real. I'm gonna let you handle this.
This is what I said earlier. I said that she doesn't want to be put in a circumstance where they are dependent of her.
Right.
So, but you know how women frame things. She's saying a man is going to feel bad having to have to even do that. No, you're going to make him feel bad because of how your attitude about it. If he's
Right.
coming to you to help with funds, yes, it is a lot for a man that actually cares for you. But obviously he knew that getting with you, and you knew that getting with him, that probably might have came up. He probably knew that, because you do make more money, he probably can use some of that to invest or something. You didn't like that. Because I'm gonna tell you this. Women may say they don't mind spending funds on a man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mind doing nice things. And Kevin Samuels pointed this out. He used to do this thing and ask women, when they, after saying you don't like spending money on men, it's like I do. They're like, well, what's the most expensive thing you ever spent on a man? It was always less than $1,000. These are women talking about. Some of the women was making over 100,000, 200,000, 300, and the most expensive thing was $300,
Right.
$400, $800. So they don't like spending money. And when I say mind, they don't mind doing it. But if they feel like they're responsible for doing it,
Mm-hmm.
that's when things start taking a turn. And what she told himself was, she's framing it in a way where, oh, he had an attitude problem because he had to come. No, you probably had an attitude problem because he was coming to you in a time of need, and you probably was shown an attitude.
Right.
So that was what probably sparked up an argument or something. Because how would you feel if you're going to someone that supposedly cares about you or married to them, and they're giving you a look and they have an attitude, and you feel like the energy changes because of what you want or what you're asking for? That's going to make anything happen. That's going to make a person. It's not intimidation. Your attitude is the problem.
Right.
But that's it. My fault. I'm sorry. She's just saying a lot of crazy. She's saying a lot of crazy things. She's
Right.
framing it in a way where is like, and like he said, all these men can't be the issue. Like it can't just be that. But that's it.
Let's go ahead and finish this out, brothers.
But God has blessed me with the ability to make this type of money, and I have this skill and I have this purpose, and I feel like everybody in this world has a purpose, and everybody in this world, and I'm 44 years old now. If I was 20 or 30, okay, yeah, I could deal with a $60,000 man, and he could grow and become this person. But I'm 44 years old, about to be 45 years old. I've been married twice. I got 5 kids who are very well taken care of. 2 are grown. The other ones are on their way out the door. And I am not settling for nothing less than, because the men in my bracket that I chose to date, which is between 40 and 58, they should be established by that point. They should have retirement. They should have asset. They should be making this type of money. This is not your dating nobody that's 20, 30, 40 years old. I
Gotcha.
mean, excuse
Gotcha.
me, under 40.
Pookie, I think Pookie got you on that one. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, all right. There
And
it is.
another thing is, like, I'm not asking for a man. Like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, why does he have to take care of you?" A man is supposed to be the provider.
We
I
got you, baby. We
understand
got
all.
you. We got to go to somebody else though.
All right.
All right. Thank you. How you want people to reach out to you?
Shayla_moi on Instagram.
All right, Shayla Ma on Instagram. Hit her up. All right.
All right, brother. So that's pretty much it. Um, he does do some other ones, but I really don't feel like going into to the other ones that he went into. Somebody else could probably take care of that. But brothers, y'all, I just want y'all to listen. You, at the end of the day, you have a woman that's 44 years old. I was just upset at the fact that she divorced her husband because he was laid back. Now she went into all this other stuff, and I really don't believe. In a way, I just don't believe it. Men are very simple creatures, and we like peace. And I'm sure that she made his life a living hell. And now he's with a woman, and he's happy. Even she said it. They're both happy. She wants to keep going. She wants to continue working. Nothing wrong with that. But you brothers, y'all don't need to be working yourself to the ground. You don't need to. But that's pretty much it. That's all I got, brothers.